Joining us tonight in a special two-part guest segment to talk about health care coverage in the district, a major vote today in the City Council regarding plans for a convention hotel, and other important matters impacting D.C.'s business community and your finances. At-large D.C. City Councilman Kwame Brown, Chairman of the Economic Development Committee. Chairman Brown, thanks so much for coming to Washington Business Tonight.
Well, no, thank you for having me. I always enjoy your show.
Thank you so much. Well, you are the man in the middle of all things involving business and the district. Since we just came out of the story about Walmart, let me first ask you about health care coverage before we get to the convention hotel. The City Council has been looking at ways for some time to try and improve coverage in the district. Where are the latest initiatives right now in the City Council?
Well, let me just say the district has one of the strongest programs providing health insurance to many of the uninsured residents here in the District of Columbia. But I have to really give the president, did a phenomenal job pushing this health care package. And I used to actually work for Walmart, and to see Walmart step up to the table and agree to this is something that's big, and it should not be underplayed. It really shows.
Did you have to wait 2 years for your health care coverage?
Well,
they
gave
you a better deal?
They have a number of issues, but at least they are seeing the light in the tunnel and being at the front end of something that's going to be amazing. It's going to actually happen here in the United States. So the hats off to their whole team and SEIU for agreeing to push this.
Now, you know that in the district, small businesses are very concerned about the cost of health care coverage. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce has lined up firmly against the president's plan, and Barbara Lang, our friend from the D.C. Chamber of Commerce, says she has some real concerns as well. Are you going to try and help craft coverage in the City Council that can allay some of those concerns? Because you all are talking about new mandates in terms of sick leave and other things.
Well, clearly, I mean, look, I agree where the president is. I agree where the direction he's trying to take it. And it's very difficult, and you have to make tough decisions and tough choices. But there are families every single day, people that are working that deserve health care coverage. And the question becomes, you know, how do we make that available for all Americans? I mean, no matter where you go, that is something that's on people's minds. And people are either they're losing their jobs or they're taking part-time jobs. People are losing their houses, their cars. You know, having health care insurance helps all of us, and it reduces the cost for a number of people here in the District of Columbia. We have a great chair of the Committee on Health, David Catania, who's doing a phenomenal job moving this discussion. But I even have a bill where I'm trying to offer tax incentive for businesses that offer health insurance to their employees. I just think that we need to do everything we can to make sure that our workers are at the front end, because those are the small businesses that are employing our residents.
Where do things stand currently on the whole issue of sick leave in the district?
Well, we do have, of course, we passed our sick pay bill last year, which will require...
have you seen any grumblings from the business community this year saying it is too onerous?
No, I have not received one call of anyone that said that they have issues with it. Now, before there were questions and concerns, but that was, what, close to 6 or 7, 8 months ago. I have not received one email or one phone call stating that this is just going to be such a burden that it's going to put them out of business.
Big vote today in the City Council.
Oh, yes.
We're almost running out of time for this segment, but that's why we're keeping you around for a second segment later in the show. Tell us about the vote on the convention hotel.
Well, this is a big win, just not for the city or before downtown. The council passed for its first reading the financing for the convention center hotel. As you know, we have one of the best convention centers in the country, but clearly every single convention center has a convention center hotel, and clearly we didn't have that, which will allow our larger conventions to come to the District of Columbia, which they've been asking for. But more importantly, most people don't remember before Verizon Center how Chinatown looked. And we're now looking at our old convention center site, a brand new hotel, the Shaw community, neighbors, and small businesses. This is going to kick off revitalization in that particular corridor.
We've got to go to a break, but there were a lot of behind-the-scenes negotiations to come up with funding. I want to talk to you about how much district residents are going to be asked to pony up for this.
Good.
So we'll have much more with the councilman coming up. Okay, all of you who send us fan mail for Ali Velshi. I know we promised you a guest segment with CNN's Ali Velshi tonight, but I wanted to spend more time with our main guest, who has a major impact on this city's business community. So we're going to bring you Ali Velshi tomorrow night, so that tonight we can have a special two-part interview with at-large D.C. City Councilman Kwame Brown, Chairman of the Economic Development Committee. It was a big day for the city. They have been waiting and waiting and waiting to get some kind of an agreement on a convention hotel, but the financing has been a major thorn of contention.
Yes.
Explain to us what the final agreement entails.
Well, great. The first agreement was the city and the City Council years ago passed a bill to give $134 million TIF to help build the convention center. And I mean, this is a special convention center. It's a Marquis Marriott hotel. It's only going to be 3 in the country.
You said, yeah, you said during the break, you had 3 in the world.
3
you
in
said
the world.
Paris.
1 in Paris, 1 in New York, and 1 in the District of Columbia.
So we'll have to wait and see what exactly that entails, but it sounds special enough.
Yes, it sounds special. So, of course, you know, the economic times has hit, the crunch has hit. The mayor sent down a proposal to publicly finance the hotel.
All of it, Mayor Fenty said.
And we went back and started to negotiate, Councilmember Evans, myself, and CFO, and really tried to figure out how do we get a better deal for the city.
Now you're downplaying the drama. Come on, this is television.
This is television.
There was an uproar when Mayor Fenty said, let's just finance all of it. People across the city said, no way, there's too many other things this city needs. The mayor said, look, if you want business in this city, we've got to step to the plate. Take me behind some of that drama and how it got resolved.
Well, one thing, let me just, say the mayor wants to get it done, and we want to get it done, and I think we found a way to do it in the most effective and efficient way, where the city's going to put in an additional $72 million. It will not touch any money out of the general fund. Not one other project in the city will suffer. Every single project, money is there, the project's going to move forward. But more
Let's go back to
importantly,
that $72 million. What happened between today and a couple of weeks ago when it was an even lower amount?
well, 2 things. One, I don't think no one had the appetite to publicly finance a hotel 100%. That's just not in the best interest of the taxpayers. 2, I think it was a greater conversation about how do we actually get it done, and people rolling up their sleeves and sharpening their pencils and going back. We have a development partner, which are 2 local businesses. One lives in Ward 2. They came to the table, and their equity partner stepped to the table and said, we'll put more money into this project because it's that important.
But somewhere in there they said, we'll put more money in, but not as much as you're asking us to. So somewhere in those last couple of weeks, $72 million had to be added into the price from the city, but you think it's worth it?
Yeah, an additional $72 million worth. Is it the best deal possible? Clearly we would want to put nothing in, but during these hard economic times, and to have one of the greatest pieces of property in the world sitting empty, and we're going to have a Marriott Marquis that's going to redevelop that whole neighborhood in Shaw, in which that community has been waiting for a long time, as well as making sure that the old convention center site, which many of us see all the time when we're driving down that street,
yeah.
This will kick off that development, and I think that that's what people want. They want just not something for downtown, but something for the whole city.
And the council said to critics that Dallas has funded even more for a similar type of convention hotel to bring people to their city.
Yeah. Well, the key is not, to me, Dallas or any other city. It's how do we get the best deal for the residents of the District of Columbia, and this was a way to create a win-win to do that.
Okay, I just want to ask you quickly about stimulus funds. We're still trying to get more of the stimulus funds into the district coffers. Some of the businesses here say, until you bring down the tax rate for D.C. businesses, we're going to lose those stimulus dollars to Maryland, to Virginia. What do you say to those critics?
Well, I don't think we're going to lose stimulus dollars. I mean, clearly we know it's $1.5 billion of stimulus that's going to come to the District of Columbia. The question becomes that the money that comes here should be for local businesses and local residents to help grow our economy. And that's why I introduced an emergency bill today that will require, just like 9 or 12 other states, that when there's jobs that are available through stimulus, they're posted online so people can go see it, and showing that local businesses participate in those stimulus dollars. That's the most important thing, but we have to be careful. We want to make sure we keep this a business-friendly city.
Councilmember Mayor, I have to wrap, but there's a lot more to discuss with you. We'd like to have you back on Washington Business Tonight. Thanks for joining us tonight.